hard is almost impossible. There's a lovely book called As Such by John Cassidy, which makes an attempt to grasp it using a scale model. 1. Go out into a big field with a football and plunk it down to represent the sun. 2. Walk 25 meters away and drop a peppercorn to represent the Earth's size and its distance from the sun. 3. The moon to the same scale would be a pinhead, and it would be only 5 centimeters away from the peppercorn. 4. But the nearest other star, Proxima Centauri, to the same scale would be another slightly smaller football located about, wait for it, 6,500 kilometers away. There may be or may not be planet orbiting Proxima Centauri, but there certainly are planets orbiting other stars, maybe most stars, and the distance between each star and its planet are usually small compared to the distance between the stars themselves. How stars work? The difference between the star, like the Sun, and the planet, like Mars and Jupiter, is that stars are bright and hot, and we are them by their own right, whereas planets are relatively cold, and you are them only by reflected light from a nearby star, which they are orbiting. And this difference, in turn, results from the difference in size. Here's how. The larger any object is, the stronger the gravitational pull toward its center. Everything pulls everything by gravity. Even you and I exert a gravitational pull on each other, but the pull is too weak to notice unless at least one of the bodies concerned is large. The Earth is large, so we feel a strong pull toward it, and when we drop something, it falls downward, that's toward the center of the Earth. A star is much larger than planets like us, so its gravitational pull is much stronger. The middle of the large star is under huge pressure became a gigantic gravitational force is pulling all the stuff in the star toward the center. And the greater the pressure inside the star, the hotter it gets. When the temperature gets really high, much hotter than you and I can possibly imagine, the star starts to behave like a sort of slow-acting hydrogen bomb, giving out huge quantities of hot heat and light, and we see it shining brightly in the night sky. The intense heat tends to make the star swelling up like a balloon, but at the same time gravity pulls it back in again. There is a balance between the outward push of the heat and the inward pull of gravity. The star acts in its own thermostat. The hotter it gets, the more it swells, and the bigger it gets, the less concentrated the mass matter of the center becomes, so it cools down a bit. This means it starts to shrink again, and the heat is up again, and so on. That sounds as though the stars bounce in and out like a heart beating, but it isn't like that. Instead, it settles into an intermediate size, which keeps the star at just the right temperature to stay that way. I began by saying the sun is just a star like many others, but actually there are lots of different kinds of stars, and they come in a great range of size. Our sun is not very big as stars go. It's slightly bigger than Proxima Centauri, but much smaller than lots of other stars. What's the largest star you know? It depends on how you measure them. The star that measures the greatest distance across is called Vy Canis Majoris. From side to side diameter is 2,000 times the size of the sun, and the sun diameter is 100 times that of the Earth. However, Vy Canis Majoris is so wish and write that despite its huge size, its mass is only about 30 times that of the Sun. Instead of the billions of times it would be if its material were equally dense. Others, such as the Bistro star and more recently discovered stars such as Eta Carinae and R136A1, not a very catchy name, are 100 times as massive as the Sun, or even more. And the Sun is more than 300,000 times the mass of the Earth, which means that the mass of the Eta Carinae is 30 million times that of the Earth. If a giant star like R136A1 has a planet, they must be very, very far away from it, or they would be instantly burned to vapor. Its gravity is so huge because of its vast mass that its planet could indeed a very long way away and still be held in orbit around it. If there is such a planet, anybody live on R136A1 would probably look about as big to them as our Sun looks to us, because although it's much larger, it would also be much further away, just the right distance away. In fact, and just the right planet size to sustain life, otherwise life wouldn't be there. The life story of a star. Actually, however, it's unlikely that there are any planets orbiting R136A1, let alone any life on them. The reason is that extremely large stars have a very short life. R136A1 is probably only about 1 million years old, which is less than 1,000th of the age of the Sun so far, not enough time for life to evolve. The Sun is a smaller, more mainstream star, the kind of star that has a life story lasting billions of years, not just a million, during which it proceeds through a series of drawn-out stages, which like a child growing up became adult, passing through middle age, eventually getting old and dying. Mainstream stars mostly consist of hydrogen, the simplest of all elements. The slow-acting hydrogen bomb in the interior of a star converts hydrogen to helium, the second simplest element, sometimes else named after Greek sun god Helios, reasoning a massive amount of energy in the form of heat, light, and other kind of radiation. You remember we said the size of the star is a balance between outward push of heat and inward pull of gravity. Well, this balance stays roughly the same, keeping the star simmering away for several billions of years until it starts to run out of the fuel. What usually happens then is that the star collapses into itself under the understand influence of gravity, at which point all hell breaks loose, if it's possible to imagine anything more hellish than the interior of a star already is. The life story of a star is too long for astronomers to see more than a tiny snapshot of it. Fortunately, as they scan the skies with their telescopes, astronomers can find the range of stars which at a different state of its development. Some infant stars are caught in the act of being formed from clouds of gas and dust, and our Sun was 4.5 billion years ago. Plenty of middle-aged stars like our Sun, and some old and dying stars, which give a foretaste of what will happen to our Sun in another few billion years' time. Astronomers have built a rich zoo of stars of all different sizes and stages in their life cycle. Each member of the zoo shows what others used to be like or will be like. An ordinary star like our Sun eventually runs out of hydrogen, and I've just described stars burning helium instead. I've put that in quotation marks because it isn't really burning but doing something much harder. And this stage is called red giant. The sun will become a red giant in about 5 billion years time, which means it's pretty much in the middle of its life cycle at the moment. Long before then, our poor little planet will have become much too hot,